Good afternoon, everyone. Pastor Mike here with our weekly update, and boy, have I got some good news for you. The first and most important is bingo is still going. So you still have opportunities to fill this out and get a gift card either from Caribou or from Nothing But Into Cakes. We have 7 of these left, so make sure that you hurry up and get focused on your bingo if you would like to complete that, because once the gift cards are gone, they are gone. So please make sure that you are filling those out if you are interested in doing that. Another update for us is, if you didn't know, Christmas Eve is just around the corner. Christmas Eve has historically been one of my favorite services because I remember it distinctly as the first Christmas I was able to finally hold a candle and play with fire. The playing with fire part is probably why my parents didn't give it to me any time before that. But we have some great news. As of today, we are going to be announcing that we will have in-person Christmas Eve services. Yes, you heard me right. We will be doing one in-person Christmas Eve service at 4 o'clock on Christmas Eve. That is the 24th, if you didn't know. Now, there's some things that you need to be aware of going into that. So we will also be having an online service. As I mentioned last week, this will be a joint service between us and Crosspoint Church in Bloomington. So the pastor at Crosspoint is another guy named Pastor Mike, who's a friend of mine. And so I thought it would be fun for us to do a joint Christmas Eve service with some other local EFCA churches, and just as a reminder that it's not just about us, that we exist in part of a bigger body of believers across this South Metro area. So I've recorded their stuff, I've recorded a number of our stuff, and that will be a live video going out on YouTube and Vimeo, all those digital ways on Christmas Eve. So the Christmas Eve in-person service will be just us playing back that video. So remember, if you are planning to come, remember to wear your mask, remember to stay socially distanced. We'll watch the video together at 4 o'clock, and then once that is done, we will all leave as soon as that's done and go home and celebrate Christmas together. Now, one thing I would encourage you to do is, because we want to be able to keep distances apart, is I would encourage you to think about downloading an app like this. This is a lighter app that is free and would even let you check off the space labeled install a new app on your phone in bingo. So 2 for 1. And if you don't know how to do that, there's also a flashlight thing on your phone. So we'll be doing that in lieu of lighting candle together, but it will be nice to finally be able to see each other face to face. So then you're probably thinking the next question is, okay, when are we going to have Sunday services again? That's a great question. And our plan as of this point, barring any big surges or spikes in numbers again, is our first in-person service will take place, drumroll please, on January 10th. So mark your calendars for the 24th and the 10th. Now, there's a few different reasons why we're thinking this. The first is it gives us as staff some time to get things ready here again. So we've kind of tweaked some things around in the auditorium space so that it will better accommodate some of the recordings that we've been doing. Gives us an opportunity to make a shift from all the Christmas planning and prep that we've been doing to come back to in-person. It allows us to communicate with our volunteers and some of those kinds of things. It gives us a break in between Christmas, New Year's into when we're meeting in person. So for anyone who is traveling, they can quarantine going into it. But we are excited to be looking forward to meeting in person again very, very soon here. So again, summary of what I just said. We'll have one in-person Christmas Eve service at 4 o'clock. And it'll just be playing back the video that will also be available on our YouTube, Vimeo, all those normal digital means as well. And then we'll begin in-person services again on January 10th. The tentative plan right now is that we begin with just one service at 10:30, and then we'll be live streaming that service out to those who are not feeling comfortable yet coming back in person. So that is the great and exciting news that we have to look forward to coming up in just a week here, to finally see each other face to face again. I'm really excited to be able to do that, especially with as significant a holiday as Christmas is for us. I hope you have enjoyed some of the other resources that we've been able to send out. So there's been Advent concerts, there's been the bingo game that a number of people have completed already, and a lot of other things that have been great ways for us to continue connecting with each other and being intentional about reaching out to our neighbors. You may be wondering why it is that we decided now would be a good time for us to meet together. So this map that is on the screen right now shows hospital beds that are available, which as far as I can tell is as good a judge of where things are at as anything. So if you look in that number 48, which is currently yellow, when we decided to go to fully online services, that was red, and every other area in the state was yellow. So now that the other areas in the state have gone to green, and you can see the map on the right side is still in the red, but that was significantly less. That was down to 70 or 80 when we decided to go fully online. So now that it seems as if more hospital beds are becoming available, we as overseers thought this would be a good time for us to begin meeting in person again. So there's all these different maps and data that you can look at. You can look at number of cases, you can look at deaths, you can look at infection, all these various things. It's getting difficult to try to weed through and distill which is the best data available to us. So that's part of the reason that we think now is as good a time as any that would allow us to meet in person again. We've been very blessed by God in that we haven't had a severe case of COVID or a severe outbreak. I have a friend's church who from one week to the next had something like 12 positive cases that were directly traced back to a church event. So thankfully we haven't had that, and let's continue hoping and praying that doesn't take place. So we'll ask that as we meet together again, please remember to stay distant. Remember to continue wearing your mask. It seems as with us taking those precautions, it's allowed us and spared us from a lot of the negative implications that some other churches have faced. I want to take a minute as well right now to just share a little bit about where we'll be going in the new year. So starting on January 3rd, we'll begin a new series titled I Am. So throughout John's Gospel, Jesus used various I Am statements to refer to himself. Things like, I am the way, the truth, and the life. I am the light of the world. I am bread. All these explanations of who he is. And so we're going to be digging into those 7 statements Jesus made throughout John's Gospel, looking at how he described himself and what that means for us. So I thought that'd be a great start for us together as we enter into the new year together. So I'm excited to see many of you in person here soon. Be praying for wisdom for us and for diligence for us in the midst of all these news and new things that are coming out. We pray for health for many of us and pray that we continue not having any significant rises in cases coming up here. Hope you're all doing well. Remember, if you need to reach out to any of us for anything, feel free to reach out to any of us at any time. My email is mikes@ssefc.org. Looking forward to seeing some of you next week in person. Stay safe and stay healthy.